Today, we will be talking about how chaos can feel safer than peace, how trauma bonding can wire us to equate intensity with intimacy, and how you can start to feel safe in stillness. Maybe you're at a point in your life where there's no drama, no emotional turbulence, yet something just feels off. Everything is good on paper. No one is mad at you. No one's pulling away from you. Things are supposed to be easy. Life is supposed to feel like a breath of fresh air. However, you feel this deep sense of unease. Maybe you're looking for the ways that things are going to go wrong. Maybe you are looking for chaos in order to feel safe. Sometimes there is a very strange discomfort that we can feel when things are calm. Before we dive any deeper into this episode, I want you to ask yourself this question. Have you ever known safety without tension? Chaos can become very familiar, especially in our childhoods or in our relationships. This sense of unpredictability can become both familiar, yet uneasy, yet also very fulfilling in a very not so fulfilling way. Maybe normalizing unpredictability became your new norm. Maybe you are someone where you were always aware, searching for the emotional shifts within another person, within your environment, your friendships, your family, your partner. Maybe survival in your younger years and your early relationships meant that you had to scan, looking when to predict the next emotional or life shift. This hypervigilance of other people's emotions and your environment is something that is very hard to turn off and to unlearn. Turning off this hypervigilance and allowing yourself to feel peace can actually end up feeling very turbulent for you because it has become your new norm. Peace can feel foreign when you have spent years in hypervigilance trying to navigate emotional turbulence. Most likely, you learned to stay ready so that you wouldn't be caught off guard. These early years, early dynamics in our lives can really hardwire us to be addicted to chaos as we get older, because it is what feels familiar to us. This idea of intimacy and intensity kind of feels like the ultimate way for us to feel close to someone. But in reality, what that actually is a trauma bond. This roller coaster of emotions that turbulence and chaos brings in our life does something to our brain. It chemically alters our brain to want to experience the highs and lows of dopamine that comes with these turbulent experiences that we may have in our lives. And it could cause us to become addicted to chaos in our lives. It's not about wanting to feel pain, but it's rather feeling comfortable with pain. Pain has become our new norm, and we go searching for it because it feels familiar. It feels safe because it's all we've ever known. It is not about wanting pain. It is about your body and mind being wired for it. Truly, chemically. When we are in these states of hypervigilance and emotional turmoil, our nervous system is kicked on. And we are basically just living life in fight or flight, constantly looking out for the ways that we can stay safe, for the ways that we can diffuse a situation. We are trying to figure out what we need to do in order to survive. And this is like a fire in our body that we might feel. And this fire, this dopamine, this rush of endorphins and hormones floods through us so much that when things don't feel like we need to be in that flight or fight mode, our nervous system feels depleted because being hypervigilant, having turmoil, having turbulence is all we ever known. It makes safety feel like a threat when we are on so much just trying to look for the ways that things are going to change, that things are going to be bad. When we are constantly in the state of our own emotional instability or trying to figure out someone else's emotional instability, it can start to become like a comfort zone, not only to our psyche, but to our bodies as well. Our nervous system will remain in fight or flight when we are supposed to be in a comfortable zone because it does not know what is a threat or what isn't a threat. Comfortability becomes a threat if we allow ourselves to put our guard down. Our body does not know the difference between what is supposed to be peaceful and what is supposed to be painful. Our body does not know when to turn off survival mode because it is all it can do and think about. When we think about this chaos addiction and wanting to always feel that high, to feel that intensity, that energy that we get from when things are chaotic, we can find so much purpose in trying to be a helper and trying to navigate life when things are feeling chaotic because it just gives us so much energy. That's the thing about chaos, is that it can make you feel like you have so much purpose. It can make you feel like you are really in tuned and aligned in life because your chaos is giving you a reason to do X, Y, Z. However, this is not a healthy way to live. And this state of chaos, this chaos addiction, can also show up in your own life. This state of chaos addiction not only affects your personal life, but also your relationships. And this is where the idea of trauma bonding really comes into play. When we are in this addiction to chaos, we may put taking care of ourselves on the sideline. We may put finding real love and real connection on the sideline, or trying to better ourselves, because the purpose that we find within chaos and trying to navigate someone else's turmoil can feel so powerful. And this is when things get really scary, because when you think about relationships and you think about this addiction to chaos, there is a stark difference between trauma bonding and real connection. We can mistake volatility in a relationship for passion. We can mistake that a calm relationship is boring because it doesn't spike up our nervous system like a unhealthy emotional roller coaster relationship does. The thing about trauma bonds is that they thrive on tension, confusion, and breadcrumbing. If you are in a relationship right now and you are unable to tell whether or not it is healthy, if it is causing you that emotional roller coaster more than calm, if it feels like a trauma bond to you when you think of it in your heart, in your gut, it might be a fallback that you are trying to find comfort in. Because remember, chaos can feel very comforting when it is all that we've ever known. The thing about trauma bonds with another person is that you go through your own emotional high and lows, but you also go through the other person's emotional high and lows. You may expect the other person to find purpose in your emotional roller coaster as you find purpose in trying to navigate theirs. This is not healthy. That is a trauma bond in a relationship through and through. A healthy relationship is one where your partner does not put you through their emotional roller coaster, and you don't put them through yours as well. When you are in a relationship that is based on trauma bonds, it can feel very intense, very powerful, very emotionally evoking. It can feel like the end all be all for you. This relationship can feel like everything. However, your relationship is not supposed to be your everything. When you are someone who lives for the chaos, who is addicted to the chaos, you may be conscious of it or you may not be. You may be someone where your partner is your everything, and maybe you are navigating their emotions just like you did your parent when you were a child. This is not the type of love that you deserve. You deserve a relationship that doesn't put you through the emotional roller coaster. And the thing about being in a relationship that is healthy is that sometimes you can miss the intensity of an unhealthy relationship, of that chaos, while you are healing. You can miss the highs and lows, the turmoil that you once felt like was your normal, but it's not your normal anymore. And that can be a tough pill to swallow. It can be a tough pill to swallow that chaos does not work for you anymore, and that you need to find a new way to feel ease and purpose in your own life. This aversion that you may be feeling towards having a calm life or a calm love can really be centered around a fear of stillness. Having peace and calm and stillness creates space for you to think of everything you've ever been afraid of: emptiness, grief, a lack of purpose, a lack of control. All of these things are something that you have to come face to face with when you have the space in your life that comes with peace and calmness and stillness. When there is nothing to fix, you will meet yourself fully, and that can be a terrifying experience. You may realize that you have attached your purpose to other people. You may realize that you have been in helper mode for so long that you forgot how to help yourself. You may realize that you may have been getting everything wrong, that you actually have no control over life, over the people around you. You may realize that chaos might mean losing the sense of safety that you thought you could hold on to for the rest of your life. This silence, this stillness is not empty. It is just creating space for everything that we have not processed. This stillness and calmness in our lives is where we finally meet our unmet needs. Now is the time for you to learn to be safe in peace. It is time for you to figure out a new baseline for yourself. That being safe does not equal boring. That chaos does not equal purpose. That you are allowed to create the life that you want to live now, instead of constantly looking for the ways that things may go wrong or already are going wrong. Now is the time for you to reteach your nervous system to not mistake calm for danger. And this is something that takes a lot of time and intention to work on. It's something that I am still trying to teach myself day in and day out, that I don't have to be so hypervigilant of other people's emotions. I don't have to be so aware of all of the things that I might do wrong, or try to look for the ways that everything may be slipped out underneath my feet. I don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to do that anymore. It's about relearning that you are allowed to feel safe in your life, that your body does not have to be turned on all the time, looking, searching, trying to figure out and find how things may be going wrong. You are allowed to create a sense of peace within yourself. This is something where you have to really look inwards and try to figure out how to intentionally bring calm into your life. This looks like integrating certain practices into your life to make sure that you are not mistaking safety for danger or danger for safety. When you are trying to retrain your body to be safe in peace, you must prioritize gentle, self-soothing practices. When you are feeling emotional, try to figure out what emotion it is that you are feeling. Try to understand why it is you are feeling that way. Try to calm yourself down. When you notice that someone else may be a little bit emotionally dysregulated, you need to take a step back and you need to ask yourself, what am I feeling in reaction to their emotions? Am I wanting to protect myself? Am I wanting to fix the situation? Am I wanting to ease their emotion? What are you wanting to do right now? What is your urge? You have to then look within and try to push past that urge and ask yourself, why is it I am feeling the way that I am? What does this urge mean to me, and how can I calm myself down from wanting to act on it? It is so important that while you are trying to create peace within yourself during these moments of stillness in life, that you are noticing the ways in which you may be self-sabotaging yourself when things are good. And trust me, they show up in a million ways. It can look so different for so many different people. Maybe it looks like pushing people away. Maybe it looks like isolation or scrolling on your phone too much. What are the habits that you do? What are the urges? What are the ways that you may react to other people in situations that put you in that self-sabotaging state of mind? How are you creating the chaos in your own life? This is a very true reality that we all have to face. If chaos is all we've ever known when we were young, I know for me that I find a lot of peace when things are difficult, when deep conversations are being had, when there is just chaos going in my life or other people's lives, it kind of gives a sense of purpose. And it allows me to focus not on myself, but on the situation, on another person. And that's a sense of self-sabotage. Because self-sabotage at the end of the day is you sabotaging yourself, your life, your desires. It is you putting yourself on the back burner in order to focus on the task at hand because you are in survival mode. How can you take yourself out of that? How can you guide yourself away from wanting to self-sabotage? Because it can feel so safe sometimes. You deserve to live a life where safety is felt within stillness, where chaos is not the norm. Because you deserve to live a life where you feel purposeful and connected to yourself, to your desires, and to the people around you in a beautiful and healthy and loving way. Putting your life on hold to help another person does not equal love. Shoving your emotions away to heal the emotions of another does not equal love. Putting another person's struggles before your own does not equal love. All of those things are self-sacrifice that feed the chaos. You must learn to put yourself first, to put peace first, because peace is not the absence of love. Peace is where love gets to rest and grow and blossom into something so much more than you have ever known. I hope that this episode showed you that you deserve peace. You deserve to have a simple, easy, and loving life. I hope you choose to help yourself live that more each and every day after listening to this episode. I want you to ask yourself this question before we close. What version of normal are you grieving by choosing peace? What does peace make possible that chaos never could? Think about it, write about it, talk to someone who you love and trust about it. If you need someone to talk to, I am here for you. You can always feel free to comment under these videos or podcast episodes or reach out to me on Instagram or TikTok at @ToBeKnownPod. You could feel free to follow me there. Like this video, subscribe, give it 5 stars if you're listening on Spotify. I hope that you feel a sense of realization by the end of this video. I hope that you see the ways that you may be choosing chaos in your life, or that you may not want to choose chaos anymore, because it can definitely become a norm in your life if it's all that you've ever known. But you deserve to have a peaceful, simple life. That's all I want for you. And that's also all I want for myself. All right. Well, with all that being said, stay true to you. Bye.